It's Friday. Friday. Guess what? It's Friday. Guess where No, you'll never guess. You'll never guess. Matter of fact, I'm going to make Timmy guess. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hey, Timmy.
Yo, what's going on?
Guess where I am. Can you guess by the trees behind me where I am?
You're in the great outdoors somewhere.
I am in the great outdoors. It is lovely down here. You notice I said down here, right?
Yeah. Well, down there for who?
Oh, your stuff froze.
Down there for who?
Well, I don't know if I give you too many hints, you're gonna guess. So you're just supposed to look at the foliage and kind of see the green, and guess that I'm in Tennessee, Ashland, Tennessee, down in what's known as a holler. Have you ever heard of a holler before?
I've heard of a holler.
Have you?
Yeah.
What are you doing? It doesn't look good on camera, Timmy. Whatever you're doing doesn't look good on camera.
I'm trying to get a watch party started on my phone to
But put your hands where we can see them, Timmy. Put your hands.
Can you see my hands and my phone?
Well, I don't know who's going to join us tonight. I put the invite out to the regular crew. Hopefully, Brother Jarvis, maybe Sharima might jack in. I don't know. But if you're watching, we want to encourage you guys to consider starting your own programming right here on Spectacletv. You can do what we do. You might even be able to do it better than we do. So if you're a group or organization, church, if you want to do what we do, I keep removing them from the screen. I don't need to do that. I need to just hit this button and make me big. Give us a call at 810-239-2901. It's that easy. 810-239-2901. And get your internet on. I used to say get your TV on. But now I say get your internet on. Stream some stuff. Woohoo! What do you think, Timmy?
I think everybody need to get their internet on. And especially in these COVID days, you can't go out Friday night and hang at the club. Might as well hang with Paul and I.
That's all I'm saying. Well, give me an update. What's going on in Tampa? Or I'm sorry, St. Petersburg.
From a COVID side, we're in a major pullback now. The numbers are going the wrong way. Though I got to talk about the percent positive is going up, and it's going up more than just that they're doing more testing. It's going up. We were down almost to 2%, and now we're up around almost 20% positive. So they're pulling a bunch of stuff back to try to see if we can't get back down below. But on the flip side, the number of people dying has definitely dropped, and so what they're seeing now is that the average age of people testing positive is dropping. So we're now looking at a lot of 20-somethings and 30-somethings that are actually testing positive, but they're asymptomatic.
Well, they have parents, though. Those people have parents and older people in their lives.
And I'll tell you, brother, a week ago today, I don't know if I mentioned it last Friday or not, but I was in a Home Depot, and a gentleman about my age was walking through Home Depot without a mask on, and a young man, probably in his mid-20s, started yelling at him to put his mask on, and this devolved into a swearing at each other, yelling. I was ready for the old man to knock the young punk out. And I'm thinking to myself, this is where America falls apart. Because store management isn't enforcing the mandatory mask. And now you got customers who are self-appointing themselves as the mask enforcement.
Right. What do you do?
Well, you can't do that. I mean, customers can't be doing that to other customers. You can't, if you're not management of the store and you're not a political leader and you're not law enforcement, you can't be walking up to somebody and getting in their face and yelling and screaming and calling them names.
Right, it's not their house. What he should have done was he should have told the manager that he's not going to shop here unless they enforce the rules, and left.
But you know what the worst part about that was? I mean, besides the fact that this happened, was just the night before, I watched an epidemiologist say that one person wearing a mask and one person not wearing a mask and no social distancing is only slightly better than two people not wearing a mask.
Wow.
So
well, I just discovered the county I'm in does not require you to wear masks.
Yeah, the only way this works is if you wear a mask and the other person wears a mask. And yeah, both people are wearing a mask and you're keeping social distance.
So that's they're saying that's the best solution down there?
Yeah, they're saying without the social distance, two people wearing a mask is not that much better than nobody wearing a mask.
Right. Well, I've kept my distance from everybody, on this road trip. We went into a couple gas stations, and people seem to be, staying more than 6 feet apart. To be honest with you, they're like 9-10 feet away.
I saw the funniest picture the other day. Of course, it had to be a Marine. If anybody that's ever gone to Paris Island or knows somebody that's gone to Paris Island knows about the famous yellow footprints outside of the receiving center when you arrive at Paris Island to start boot camp. Well, this Marine in the store that he works at, he made a template of 2 footprints and got a can of yellow spray paint, and every 6 feet he painted 2 yellow footprints and posted it to a website that called You're a Jarhead If. And it was just hilarious to see. So
it's 1 foot and then the left foot 6 foot away?
No. Let your heels together, because what they're showing you is at the position of attention, your heels should be together. Your feet are off at a 45-degree angle. Right. That's what these yellow feet print. They're meant to teach the brand new kid that just got off the bus from wherever he's coming from to arrive at Paris Island. Just do a research on the yellow feet print Paris Island. They're painted on the asphalt outside of the reception center. And I can remember 17 and a half years old, 2:30 in the morning, having a guy yelling and screaming, "Get off the bus, get on my yellow feet print, move!" And running off the bus, and there's all these yellow footprints painted on the asphalt.
Well, how else are you expecting these kids to know what to do, Timmy? How are they going to know what to do? I mean, are you telling them on the bus?
Yeah, he told us on the bus, all right. He told us at 100 decibels.
Okay.
Real quick, what a half a heartbeat was.
Apparently too long for you, right?
We had half a heartbeat to get off the bus and on those yellow footprint, and we better not touch him on our way down the aisle while he's standing there taking up the whole center aisle on the bus.
Wow. Okay, hold on a minute. Let me see if I can do this. I haven't tried to do this yet, but I just brought up your yellow footprints. Let's see what this thing is about. You hear the audio?
No, I can't hear the audio. Now those are definitely pictures from the reception center, but it looks like it's daylight there. I arrived at 2:30 in the morning. It wasn't daylight. Yeah, those are the yellow footprints right there. But trying to look at that almost looks like San Diego, not Paris Island.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was helpful, I'd say.
Yeah.
You know where you're supposed to be.
Oh yeah. The funny part is I arrived at I think it's Greensboro, South Carolina, at the airport. That's where I flew in from Boston, and they actually have yellow feet print painted in a section of the airport, so that when you find the Marine liaison there, he grabs your paperwork and points at the yellow footprints and tells you to stand there.
Oh wow! Now they do that in the little air puffer chamber too at the airport. Hey, Sharima.
Hello.
Hey, Tim. How y'all doing?
I'm doing fine, and yourself?
Good, doing well, thank you. So, who was the video that we were just looking at?
We were just
Who was
looking
in the
at a
video?
bunch of Marine Corps.
Wait a minute. That has nothing to do with the polka dot dress you're wearing. What the hell is going on, Sharima? What are you doing, girl? Kind of looking cute.
Oh, well, thank you, Paul. Occasionally, I might just look cute.
It was an accident.
I like how he phrased that, kind of looking cute.
That way I don't get in trouble. If I say kind of, you know what I mean?
No, Paul and I do this. I'm so used to his backhanded compliments.
I'm still probably in trouble, so it doesn't matter.
How y'all doing?
We're doing great. How's your week been?
Incredibly busy. I am grant writing. In fact, I'm writing a grant right now, and I'm gonna have to get off here early. But I've been doing a lot of grant writing, managing grants. We are managing the grants for the Small Business Relief Program for the county. And so my team is managing those. And so that's going to keep me incredibly busy, but out of trouble.
Well, a lot of people are looking for work. Are you hiring folks?
No, these are for existing small businesses, and for them to be able to create safety measures for their businesses, especially those who have a great deal of customers, maybe their child care centers, maybe their bars and restaurants, hair salons, barbershops, and the like.
Well, Angie runs that snack shack down at City Hall, right?
Hmm.
And we were thinking about upgrading it to a clerkless operation.
Okay.
Where self-serve situation where people just come up, get what they want, scan it, and then put their debit cards in. Now, I'm trying to convince her to put a video screen down there so that she can be virtually there to say, "Hey, how you doing, Sally? How you doing, Bob? Yeah. Am I out of Snickers? Oh, okay, we're out of Snickers. We'll get some down there tomorrow." You got any money for that? You got any money for that?
Well, you never know. You could apply. There is a new grant opportunity. The grant application cycle starts on July 15th and runs through August 5th. That's on the state's website for Michigan Small Business Relief Program. And
nice.
You can apply. My team will be managing all of those grants as well. So you can certainly apply.
Yay! I think
Yay.
we're gonna try. I mean, it's not gonna cost that much to do it. A couple video cameras, a couple video screens,
Perfect.
and some inventory. Since all the inventory that she had went bad. What'd you say, Timmy?
What you need to do is you need to go to your local higher education institute and get you one of the grant writers that writes grants to NIH, because some of the grants that I've seen researchers at the institution I work at get, I shake my head and say that grant writer must have been incredible. How do you get a grant to study the sex habits of a mosquito?
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
But that is not the best grant. The best grant, and pardon me for saying this, was the grant writer who got NIH to approve a researcher to study the sex habits, the drinking habits of Chinese prostitutes.
Just the Chinese prostitutes.
Fascinating. I would love to read that research.
To do this, he had to, of course, go spend a year in China.
Of course.
You want to
With
guess?
prostitutes.
Yeah, where do you work?
Who this researcher was?
You.
No, you want to guess what nationality this researcher was?
Oh, white? European?
No, he was Chinese.
Chinese.
He
Yeah.
got NIH. He got the National Institute of Health to fund a grant research program so he could go home for a year.
Right.
Yep, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. So, Tim, where do you work?
I work at the University of South Florida, which is a top.
That's
50,
right.
It's a top 50 research institute.
That's right. That's right. You have said that before. Yeah. And what is it? What work do you do there? I'm sorry.
I'm in cybersecurity.
Okay. Yeah. No, that is very interesting. That is real interesting. That's the kind of thing that I really enjoy.
Wait a minute. I'm getting an idea here.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to study sex habits. Well, no, I take that back.
Of a mosquito.
But yeah, that was the thing. It was drinking habits of Chinese prostitutes, but it was sex habits of mosquitoes.
What about drinking habits of native mammals to Fiji? And we can go to Fiji for a year, find a native mammal, and feed it beer and see what happens.
Oh, Paul.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe we could get Fruit of the Loom. We could get Fruit of the Loom to pay for the underwear test.
Yeah.
We could find mammals in Fiji. Again, in Fiji, you're seeing the common thing here, right?
Yeah.
And see what happens if we put underwear on them. How they adapt to Fruit of the Loom or Hanes.
Like I said, though, you go find yourself a grant writer for a local higher education research institute, and let me tell you, them people can write some grants and get them approved by the federal government.
I like the way you think, Timmy. I wonder if there's a web page designed. I guess the grant writer's web page. You just make sure they got NIH on it, right?
I honestly, I get emails all the time. I get emails all the time to go to seminars on how to write successful grants.
And
I'm not a grant writer.
No. You just can talk. You don't have to be quiet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your background.
I'm in cybersecurity. That's my job is to protect that research from being stolen.
Okay. Oh, right.
What kind of security?
Wait a minute. We got somebody else in here. Look at that.
All right.
Jay Money.
Nah, I don't know about that big money part, but
looking sharp with that chapeau, baby. Looking sharp with that chapeau.
Appreciate it. How you doing, man?
I don't know. Was that like a Christmas present or birthday present? Or you that for Mother's Day or something?
Nah, man. Nah, just little something I had in the collection. But I mean, if you want to get it, of course, all yours, Paul.
Man, I think I could whip that, Jarvis. I think I would look really good in there.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what. When you get back, brother, I got one waiting for you.
Jay.
All right, well, I got a certain style. I don't know if I want to copy yours, Jay. Then
I'm sure you'll wear much different than me.
What would people in the neighborhood say if I started looking like you, Jay? Come on.
Hey, man, I'm sure you'll wear much different than me, Paul. I mean, you have a style of your own.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that's true. I break it down a little bit, maybe break the side off, crank it down, stuff like that. Yeah, I can do that.
First problem I have with that statement, Paul, is look in the mirror and then look at Jay. Ain't nobody gonna confuse you for Jay.
Oh, here he goes.
I have a button that will eliminate you do know that I have a button that will eliminate you from this stream, right?
Yeah.
So Paul, but Paul, where are you?
I want you to guess.
Oh, you do.
Can you
do you? Well, first of all, hello, Jarvis. How are you?
How you doing, Sharima?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
very good. So wait a minute, Jay, when you came on, you just now said, well, Paul, when you get back. So Jay clearly knows that you're gone and where you are.
That's good deduction. Did he do it with the candlestick in the library or?
Only you would know.
Paul posted a picture earlier of him on the road, but that
I think it was
Primus that he was driving.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Apparently, you guys didn't look at my live stream this morning.
No.
My traumatic experience that I had to share with all my friends, both of you.
All two of us.
Hey, wait a minute. It's 3 of us up here. Who are you
One of us
eliminating?
is pretending to be his friend.
He doesn't consider a friend.
So
Mark
what
it,
happened, Paul?
my brother, okay, is having surgery in Nashville.
Okay.
And my car, the Primo, the limo Prius car that I have,
The Primo.
right, is was free. Or done. The guy finished it. So Marcus and I rented a car and we drove to Scottsburg. We picked up the Prius and we were headed down to Nashville. And we got 90 miles away from Nashville and I ran out of gas.
Oh my gosh.
With a Prius?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
You ran out of gas with a Prius.
It's not one thing and another.
I'm going to vindicate myself, okay? The fuel gauge is broken. I have not been in that car in almost over a year. So I got totally about the fuel gauge being broken. But the minute it happened, I said, wait a minute. It was 2 bars was E. And I had 3 bars. So I was justified in it anyway. Because had I remembered, I would have gone to 2 bars. No, I wouldn't have. I would have filled up. But that's neither that nor here. So after trying for an hour or so to get it started, we were able to move maybe 800-900 feet from where we first stalled.
Oh.
And I ended up calling my travel club. I don't want to say the name. I didn't say the name earlier, so I'm not going to say it now. But there's cattle involved with this insurance company. I called them, and the lady said she needed the mile marker. I couldn't read the mile marker from where I was standing. So I went and, while she was on the phone, walked about 2.5 minutes to get close enough to the mile marker. And I told her I'm at mile marker 70 on I-65 South.
Oh, yeah, man.
And she said, fine, we'll send out a tow truck. 2
Okay,
hours.
Paul, I'm so sorry. Paul, who was talking in the background? This is so distracting.
Hold on a second. Let me do this. One second. I can do this.
Yeah, it lit up.
Call the fire department.
And then there you go. Test.
The police was here before the fire.
How's that? Is that better?
CB radio?
No, I'm over some friend's house, and everybody's on the patio, and they're having their own conversation while I am doing the show. And I told them they could be background. But I just did my earphones, so it should eliminate it.
So much better.
How's that? Is that better?
That is so much better. Thank you. But it's nice that you've got friends over.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm over their house, so I'm really the one being rude. So they it took them 3 hours to get a tow truck to me.
Jeez.
And they charged me immediately $240. They said it was a 90-mile tow, and that the damages was going to be $243.75.
Gee,
so I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, I have saved so much money on this vehicle that the $200 is well spent. Well spent. I mean, it's not. I don't want to do it, but it has to be done. So they take it to Scottsburg. I get in the car with Marcus. We start heading to Nashville. I'm trying to take a nap, and my phone starts ringing. I get a call from the travel company saying that they miscalculated the mileage, and that there was an additional 24 miles that had to be paid for. And since they had already processed my credit card, they would have to cancel it, and then I would have to pay the tow truck directly. And I'm like, well, you're going to have to send me some proof that you canceled this, that this has been reversed, because that's the money I need to use to pay the tow truck guy. And they said they'd call me back. The minute she hangs up, the tow truck guy's wife calls me and explains that because they canceled me out of their system and reversed the payment, that I would only get 18 miles at the State Farm rate, and the rest of them would be at her rate, which was $4 a mile. So it went from $243 to $496 for the tow.
Oh, this hurts.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh, this hurt. I am so hurting.
I'm trying not to cry, so I'm laughing out loud. Well, no, I think the saving grace is I told them all. I said, listen, I'm going to be the nicest irate customer you have ever had, but trust me, I am irate. And I went on to joke with them and had a good time on the phone. The woman said that if I didn't pay them, they were going to keep my car. And I chuckled out loud. Let's go for it. But I explained to her, I said, listen, we had offer, we had acceptance, and we had consideration. We have completed a contract. You can't come back in and open that contract up and change the terms like this. Can't do it. Right. So either we settle this between us, or we'll settle it in court. You know what I mean? And I'm feeling very damaged here, emotionally stressed.
Absolutely.
And I laughed again. So then they had another guy call me and try to explain that I'd have to pay this payment. And I told him what I told the last guy. Then they had the original girl that took the order, Shalonda or whatever her name, sweet as hell. She called, and you could just hear her bosses over her. You could just feel that her bosses were standing over her shoulder saying, you need to fix this. You messed this up. You need to fix this. So I knowing that, I gave her all sorts of praises on the phone. I said, sister, you did a wonderful job. You calmed me down. You got, so I was I was filling the recording with praises so she wouldn't be in as much trouble as if I was being a dick.
Yeah.
So I hung up with her, and the tow truck's wife called me back. And she says, have you made a decision? Are we taking it to the auto place, or are we taking it to our place? And I said, well, I'm waiting for a call from State Farm. Stand by. And then I got another call from a lady from State Farm, and I said, whoa, we need to stop this. You need to have your boss's boss call me within the next 10 minutes. That would need to happen. All right? I can't talk to you guys anymore. This is exhausting. I need somebody that can make a decision and make a decision now. And they said, thank you, Mr. Herring. And then the next time the phone rang, the lady said, Mr. Herring? And I said, yes. She says, you've been taken care of. Thank you for your patience. Click.
Whoa.
Wow.
So the tow cost me absolutely nothing.
Wow.
Wow. You went from
day, huh?
$236 or $40 to almost $500 to $0.
You deserve it, Paul.
Yeah.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
That's fantastic.
Isn't that wonderful?
What a great story.
I'm still down in Nashville. I'm without my car. So now I've got to figure out how to get back to Scottsburg. Oh, we went to the airport to get the rental car, right? And we had rented the car, and it was like $250 to rent it for the time we needed it. And then we decided, well, why don't we just rent it one way, and you can come back with me, and we were going to just drop it off at Nashville Airport. So we got to the counter, and I said, "Hey, we want to drop this off at Nashville Airport." And the lady behind the counter chuckled, and I said, "That's scary." And then she turned the screen around. It was $1,250 to do a one-way rental to Nashville. Now, of course, this is 2 days after Hertz decides to go bankrupt. We're renting cars from Hertz, and Hertz is in bankruptcy court. So I might just keep this car. I might have to keep this car.
You don't want to do that.
Wait till their bankruptcy's over and see if it falls out as an asset.
You don't want to do that because the day after that car is due back, they
But it was wonderful. So
they're looking at the guys.
What'd you say, Tim?
I said you don't want to do that because the day after that car was due back, they're going to report it as stolen. And then if you get pulled over, you're driving a stolen car.
Yeah, big problem. Big problem. I think what we're going to end up doing is just extending the rental. And I think I'm going to have, because he could call me tomorrow and say that the car is shot and it's unfixable, which would be the worst case scenario. Or he could call me and say, come get it. So I think if he calls me and says, come get it, it's only 3 hours away. So Marcus will run me back up there. I'll get the car, and then I'll just head back home with it. We got the dogs with us. And we're down here in the holler in Tennessee, in Ashland, Tennessee. And my friends here, they have chickens, they have ducks, they have a stream running through the property that you have to drive across to get here. 3 dogs and 4 cats. Isaac and Newton are just apeshit. They don't know what to do. They have never seen so many animals in the same place. I have Newton's leash right here. I can't let him loose. He is literally sitting right at my feet because the cats are not afraid of dogs, and the cats want to come up and meet them. And Newton is like, "Oh no, I want to eat you." But it looks like everybody's spinning. You guys still there? Jay, you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
So Jay, what's happening in your world? You guys heard enough about mine.
Oh man, not a whole lot. Enjoying the sound of the rain right now.
Me too.
Just enjoying the sound of the rain right now, man. I had a couple of issues with my vehicle. I have low profile tires on my car, and let's just say the Carpenter Road was terrible for me. So,
hey Jay, you're not breaking up. Paul's poor ass internet connection is breaking up.
Exactly.
Is it Paul? Is it me?
Paul. No, it's Paul.
Everybody, that Jay's was messed up. It was just
I heard Jay just fine. He didn't break up in the least bit.
Exactly.
Could it be out there in chicken country, Paul? Could it be you?
Me?
You're down in the holler.
It's a problem in the holler.
It's a problem in the holler.
I am down in a hole, man. I'm down in a hole. People shouldn't live down. What did you say?
You're in the holler.
I'm in the holler. A holler. Look it up. What the hell's wrong with you people? By the creek in rural Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that definitely ain't me breaking up. That's you.
Oh, wait a minute. I had this hat on earlier.
Very nice.
And got a little nervous, so I better take that one off.
Well, why would you be nervous if you're among friends there at the house?
They have neighbors. They have neighbors with Trump signs in their yard.
Oh, that would explain.
All the more reason. All the more reason to put on the red hat.
And you got on
That's
the
a target, darling. That's a target.
and you got on the shirt that said, "We are the children of those who chose to survive."
Exactly.
They probably said, "Oh, we'll see about that."
Oh man, I should not be laughing. I'm the one here who should not be laughing. Oh, Paul.
Don't give him any ideas. Don't give him any ideas. So, Jay, what's going on in your world? That's why
we know you're down in the holler, so if we don't hear you holler, we coming looking for you. I used to live south, so I know a lot of those areas like the back of my hand. You live in Mississippi, man. You learn a little bit everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think I'm chronicling this visit? So there's a record.
All right. Let me know, Paul.
I'm gonna get out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get out. I really like it down here. It is so peaceful. Actually, Valerie, the woman who lives here, she was the victim of one of my first music videos. Back in the day.
Victim.
Yes, because the equipment I had back in the day wasn't designed to do what I made it do. But if you go to my website, actually, I could probably find it. Hold on a second. You guys talk amongst yourselves while I go have some fun.
Oh, you are a hot mess. You really are.
Yeah,
wow.
It keeps us entertained.
Yes. So, Tim, I'm understanding that the numbers near down where you are rising, my friend.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
The numbers, it's a quirky thing that's going on here. The numbers were rising, and at first it was okay. The numbers of positive were going up, but the numbers of tested were going up, and the percent positive was staying down. But then all of a sudden, the percent positive started to go up. So people started looking and saying, wait a minute, the number of people dying is going down. What's going on here? Well, the average age of the person testing positive has dropped into the low 40s. So what they're figuring out is that, as soon as we started to open back up again, all these 20-somethings and 30-somethings threw off the mask and started going to nightclubs and having a great time. And
right,
now they're saying that two people having a mask without social distancing is barely better than two people not wearing a mask.
Oh my God.
You need two people wearing a mask and social distancing to try to keep the transmission down. But a lot of what we got here is the numbers are going up, but it's asymptomatic people.
My confusion, I suppose, is so. For example, Texas, whose numbers are rising quite a bit.
Yep.
But there's still contingent plans about opening schools. Whereas when we had less numbers than Texas had, we weren't even thinking about going back in the classroom.
And it all depends on the local, because this is a state by state issue. And even in the state of Florida, the governor has said, no, this is a county by county issue. So I'm not going to sit here in Tallahassee up in the Panhandle and dictate how the county commissioners are going to handle things all throughout the state. So I'm leaving it to the counties. So like in my area, we're very populated counties down here in the Tampa Bay area. So we have Pasco, Hernando, Hillsborough, Pinellas, Manatee, Sarasota, very populated. And the county commissioners basically have all come back and said, we're back, mandatory mask wearing. If you don't make more than 51% of your income from selling food, you're closed. Period. They closed.
So it doesn't look the same everywhere then.
No, but the governor said he's leaving it to the local county commissioners because things look so different from one county to the next. Some of these counties that we have in this state have more cows than people.
I get that. I think the risk you have with that is if you've got people who are over these counties that are bad decision makers.
Yeah.
If you've
Right.
got an area like, for example, in the Dallas, in the Dallas area, this is rising, numbers of COVID.
Yep. Now,
But they're talking about going back into the classroom, not distance learning, but going back into the classroom, which you're talking about two different sets of population you're dealing with.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the students and you're dealing with the teachers.
Yeah.
Now, in dealing with the students, maybe COVID will affect them differently because their younger immune systems are stronger. However, we do know about some of the cases where there have been some mutations that have taken place and youth have been affected by other diseases that were quote unquote connected to COVID.
Yeah. Now,
but then you're also talking about teachers that could possibly have, depending upon what their age bracket is, pre-existing conditions.
In the state of Florida, the state education commissioner has mandated every school district in the state to reopen the schools, but he didn't say how. So like in the counties right around me, they've said to parents, you have choices. You can either make your kid go back to school full time, pre-COVID type. You can do a hybrid, or you can do 100% online. It's up to you. The schools are open, but that doesn't mean you have to send your child to the building. It means that you have options.
But I think in other states, I think they're pushing them. They're stating the options. They're stating options, but they're pushing them back into the classroom. And I think that's a danger. I think it's a danger, especially for our educators.
It's a danger all the way around, but there's also and being, the university I work at, we're looking at this the same way. Is okay, how do we bring the students in? Well, one of the things that was talked about is making all the foreign students go home to whatever their home country is and doing their classes 100% online, which there's a big push against that for reasons.
I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But then they say, okay, well, the majority of the faculty are over the age of 50. So they're in that danger zone. A lot of the faculty is in that danger zone. So how is this going to look? So
I know when I was working on my MBA, when I was at William Carey, I know one of the things that we did was they had other campuses that were satellite campuses like the junior colleges. So instead of having us travel all the way to main campus, we would go to a satellite campus, sit in the classroom. The teacher would teach from another place, and they would satellite us in. We had mics and speakers at the desk so that we could interact back and forth with the instructors.
Yeah. So that is one of the things. Well, one of the options that they're looking at is saying, okay, instead of 100%, lectures are 2 a week. Instead of 100% of the students coming in twice a week, you split the class in half. 50% of the students come in for the lecture. 50% of the students deal with the lecture, streamed. And then, but I think they're also giving students the option to say, I want to do 100% stream, or I want to do 100% in class. Now, when I was working on my bachelor's, I had the option of doing every one of my classes virtual or driving to a campus. And I did the majority of my classes virtual, sitting right here where I'm sitting right now talking to y'all from. And that worked great. But there were a couple of classes that after I got into them, and went through 3 or 4 days or 5 days, realized, okay, I'm not going to understand this material without being able to have a one-on-one interaction with a professor.
Right.
Drop out of the virtual, sign up for an in-person, and then start going to a campus. Options. My youngest son is going to University of Central Florida right now.
I'm familiar with. Yeah.
He's over there in Orlando, just signed a lease on a new house for 2 years. He plans to stay there, even though what he's looking at is every opportunity he's going to do 100% virtual. And he's telling me he signed up for his 3 courses for the fall, and they all 3 had classroom numbers assigned, and he was looking at it going, I'm not so sure. But he said, but already 2 of the professors have contacted him and said, you can either come to the class or you can do it virtual. So, he's looking at hoping that 3rd professor gives him that option. But at the university I work at, the president has already said, with the numbers going up the way they're going, phase 3 was when we were going to start allowing the students back on campus into their dorms and everything else.
Right.
He said in a meeting 2 weeks ago, we're delaying phase 3 indefinitely.
Yeah.
At this point in time.
Did you miss me?
Were you
Terribly.
gone? Was he gone?
Was he gone? Was he gone? Is that what you said? Oh, shit. I got his lease, so he's gone. All right, I gotta go away again. My dog just escaped. Bye.
Whose radio show is this anyway?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my word. So Tim, have you been working remotely all this time? Or have you been on campus?
No. You know my background situation, right, with the cancer and all that. So for a couple of years after having the surgery and doing the radiation treatment and the chemo, I was feeling miserable. And I was on FMLA for about 7 months after the surgery. And I finally thought to myself, maybe I need to get back to work. So I talked to my boss, and he's like, well, we have this thing called intermittent FMLA, and you can work from home and be on intermittent FMLA. So that way there, you can take the time you need for your medical appointments, and it doesn't hurt you. And I only need you at least 20 hours a week. Anything beyond 20 hours you want to give me, you can give me. So, all right. So after about 1.5 years of being in that situation, I suddenly started feeling well enough that I felt confident to go into the office. And so I started going into the office. Well, wouldn't you know, 2 months into going into the office, his boss comes to me one day and says, we've just had a COVID meeting, and when you go home tonight, make sure you take everything with you because you're working from home till further notice.
Wow. Okay.
I've already been told that further notice has already been extended to January 1st, 2021.
Yep. Yeah.
But I'm lucky. I can do my job 100% remotely.
Me too.
So
yeah,
I can sit down and I get up every morning, and I always say the toughest part of my commute these days is running into the cats between the kitchen and the living room.
Mine is trying to stay out of the kitchen.
I don't even fight that urge. But I mean, I used to weigh 240 pounds, and now I'm lucky if I get over 140 pounds. And,
wow.
So I stay in the kitchen, and people look at me and go, "Where in the hell are you putting all that?"
And you're like, if you only knew.
I still eat like a guy that weighs 240 pounds.
Well, if you want to know, I found the dog. Thank you very much for asking.
And Newton is so glad.
It was kind of like in that movie, Welcome Home, Roscoe Jenkins, there where he finds the dog.
Right? Listen, the dog just ripped out of his collar and chased after the cat. This is the country, guys. Look, if I turn this light away, this is what I see. You hear me? This is
Oh wow.
what I'm looking at. There is no street lights. There is no ambient light. There's nothing. You hear me? The dog went off.
How far away are you from Chattanooga, Tennessee?
Chattanooga, Tennessee, Bob. How far am I?
About 2 hours.
Valerie says about 2.5 hours.
I spent a week up in the mountains, up in Rome, Georgia, which is about an hour of Chattanooga.
Okay.
And it was a Boy Scout camp, and there was no electricity in the campsites.
No electricity, right?
What you're looking at my site was a little bit better because it was full of lightning bugs.
Well, let me tell you what. I'm surprised there are no mosquitoes. Yeah. They've got a bunch of. They probably got 50 chickens running around down here, and them little shits. They eat everything.
We didn't have to worry about mosquitoes, but there's no mosquitoes. But we had to use mosquito nets to keep the horse flies off us because the horse flies would chew on us all night long.
Wow! But so were they working in cahoots? Were the lightning bugs showing the other ones the way?
No, the lightning bugs were they outside, just showing up, blinking all over the place. But man, them horseshoe flies could figure out how to get under that mosquito net and get at you in your sleeping on top of the sleeping bag because it was too hot to be in the sleeping bag.
So listen, I got to ask Sharima and Jay a question. Elections coming up. Have you guys made any decisions on who you're thinking about for 38th? Or do you want to convince me that I should vote for somebody that you're supporting? Because I can't make up my mind right now.
Well, Paul, so if I leave my block, I am in Flint, but I am one block into Burton. So I'm not entirely sure who my person is on the ballot, actually.
Yeah, it's a state rep seat, so you're on the ballot for sure.
Is it
or your
Phil
person's on the ballot.
I wonder if it's Phil. Is it Phil Helms? I'm not sure. Who's?
Phil was the guy with Phil was the Grand Blanc Burton guy when Sheldon was in the House.
Yes, that's right. He was. So I'm thinking.
I thought he was term limited. I thought he was term limited out.
Was he?
Because he went to about the same time as Sheldon did, and Sheldon was term limited out. Jay, who are you thinking about, baby?
Who's on our ballot, Paul?
I think we got Cynthia, we got Claudia Perkins, we got Tanya Burns, we got Art Woodson, Alan Griggs' wife. She's gonna kill me.
Diane is running.
Diane
McClellan, I think so.
No, Diane. Diane is her name. She's running.
Maybe I'm wrong. Don't get me in trouble. Stop this conversation.
So Alan Griggs is the one on the city council. He's got the bushy white hair. He plays Santa Claus sometimes. He's pretty
hear
cool.
what I just said?
Stop the conversation.
I tuned you out.
I'm about
I
to
think
call
it's
her.
Tim Sneller.
I better not do that. That's rude.
Yesterday, I met with the woman that's running as a Republican in my congressional district.
I noticed that. She impressed you?
She impressed me. The guy that's filling the seat right now, I call him a seat filler. When I got down here to Florida, he was a Republican who was the Florida Attorney General. Then he ran for governor as a Republican. And then during his second term as governor, the Republican that was retiring from the Senate, U.S. Senate, he appointed a guy to fill the spot, figuring that guy would just step aside and let him take it. Well, when that guy refused to step aside and actually beat him in the primary, he changed from a Republican to an independent so he could continue running, and then lost. So then the next election cycle, they redid the district that I'm in because of gerrymandering, and it went from being a safe Republican district to be in a probable Democrat district. And so he changed parties to Democrat and ran as a Democrat to get the congressional seat.
Wow. And did
Well,
he?
he's
won.
consistent.
He
He's
won.
consistent.
He's a
Wow.
consistent politician. Yeah.
He's consistently inconsistent.
So then after he's been in office for over a year, I decided, well, he's coming up for re-election. Let me check his record, see if I agree with him or not as a Democrat. And first thing I noticed when I checked his congressional record was he missed almost the entire first year in office. He didn't cast a vote. It was like he was never there.
Wow.
Whoa. Dude.
Wow.
So then I get to attending this meeting, talking about the veteran suicide issue.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy shows up at this meeting, and I'm thinking, okay, great. He's involved. He's concerned. He gives us 2 minutes of lip service on his thoughts. And then instead of sitting down for the rest of the conference, he makes a beeline to the door, and we don't see him the rest of the day.
Well, if you don't flush it right.
Wow.
I was like,
So-
He does not take it seriously.
yeah, this guy's just interested in being a politician and getting that government paycheck.
Yep.
Really?
Well, we got
Yeah.
a bunch of folks running, and I just don't. I know it's important. But man, they're making it tough on us. They're diluting the vote. I wish they would have some kind of meeting before the meeting and a runoff within themselves. You know what I mean? And then they can support the best. You know what I mean? If 7 of y'all want to be it, you guys meet in a room and convince each other who should be it.
But that's
And
what
blah,
the
blah,
primary is about.
Yeah, I agree. I can't say that there's aside from popularity, I can't say that there's a standout that has really kind of caught my attention. I know there's some school board seats that are open. You got these state rep seats that are open, and you got judge positions that are open, sheriff, I believe, also. But it's just, now I do think that when they had that dialogue right after the George Floyd funeral, and there was dialogue between the former chief of police and the current sheriff that's in place now, Chris. And the current chief of police. The 3 that are running for sheriff. I thought that was really good dialogue. I think Word of Life hosted that or something. I can't remember.
Right.
But
yeah,
I think that was
Chia Morgan.
Yeah, Chia did. But I think that was really, really good dialogue, and we need more of that. The unfortunate thing is there hadn't been more of that, and the only thing that we even got in regards to that was probably at Juneteenth, and that was at that first event at the park.
Right.
So
here's my challenge to you then, Jay. Here's my challenge to you. We have an opportunity to interview the candidates.
Okay.
Paul Jr. is setting up a Meet the Candidates series.
Okay.
So he's looking for another millennial to help him do the interviews. He's looking for a young European woman or a young European male so that they can have a tit for tat kind of thing going on.
Sure.
But Meet the Candidates is a feel-good show. So we're not there to bash anybody. We're there to let them get their platform out unencumbered.
Sure.
Now, if we run out of questions that they're supposed to give us, then it's on. We can ask whatever we want to.
Oh, I know that very well.
Sharima, we got 30 seconds. No, we got 45 seconds left. Say goodbye to the people. Say something inspiring.
Oh, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. We're so very glad to be here since, there wasn't much of a Paul Herring show, but there sure was for me and Tim and Jay. Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
Inspiring. That was not inspiring at all. Jay, what do you got?
It was truthful, though.
Always good to be on Eclectic Ramblers. It was more like pop-up video tonight, but I enjoyed it just the same.
Oh, you got jokes. You got jokes. Hey, what you got, baby? What you got?
What I got, people, is elections are important. Educate yourself on the issues, and sure enough, educate yourself on what level of government controls what's important to you, and make sure you know who's in that area so you know who you're voting for, and make sure you vote.
Wow, that was
Very
impressive.
good. That was inspiring.
I like the way he said that. Listen, guys, as always, you're watching Eclectic Ramblings. I'd like to thank everybody that joined us. Timmy Bulu in St. Pete. We got Sharima in Big Burton. And we got Jay Cornelius on the North End. Woo, woo. Listen, if you guys want to do a live stream, you want to get your TV on, even your radio. You know, we do radio shows, too. WFOV 92.1 LPFM Flint. You can get your radio on, baby. 810-239-2901. And as always, remember, enjoy the life you're living, guys. Just until you can live the life you'll enjoy. Peace.
Peace.
Hit the button, Paul.